guys, and welcome to today's video, where today I wanted to talk about handling and taming your leopard gecko. Now, I've done countless videos on this, but I think the videos may be a little bit old, or they're getting a little bit lost in just my channel because there's a lot of videos out there. And so I wanted to do an updated one because I am just seeing an increase of people asking me what to do, why isn't this technique working, and it seems to me they haven't seen the video I did years ago about how to correctly pick up your gecko. But not only that, but I also want to take you through step by step what to do, from literally preparing the room, approaching the tank, how to literally pick up your gecko, and where to go from just picking them up in their tank to everywhere else. So step one, we're going to make sure that the whole environment is correct. So first, make sure that it is evening time. So anytime after 6 o'clock in the evening is a good time. During the day, leave them to sleep. If you ever see me handling the geckos and it seems like the daytime, it could either be in summer when it's light way into the evening here, or it might be at the earliest late afternoon. And I only do that when I see that a gecko wants to come out. But for actual proper handling, evening time is best. The other thing you've got to think about is that the room's relatively quiet. Like, it doesn't have to be silent because that can actually spook them when you suddenly make a sound. But if there's loads of people coming in and out and it could really spook the gecko, that can't be great. And also make sure you don't have cats and dogs in the room. Now, you might trust your cat or dog, but if you're getting used to handling an animal you're not used to handling, they're not very tame, then they can easily get spooked, run off, jump, hiss, do whatever, and that is very attractive to a cat and a dog who may want to chase this. So for your own gecko safety, and because you're getting used to handling this gecko, make sure you don't have any other animals in the room. It makes things a lot simpler. Now, something you may notice that I've done here is put on the light. Now, I've done this for video purposes. Usually if I'm going to handle them, I'm not going to turn on the light. However, if say you had like a little light in here and it makes it easier for you to find that gecko and handle it properly, that will be fine for that little short period. But the next step would be to create a sound, and I've mentioned this a few times, that they associate with you. Now, with a baby who doesn't know you, this is going to take some time to grow on them. They're not going to respond to it straight away, but it can actually work quite quickly. So as I'm going to open this door, you may see Diego's going to lift up, okay, because he's going to be alert. Diego! He's too tame. He's actually too tame. Diego, I could have been a threat right then. So for video purposes, I am going to just take these windows out. You don't normally do this, but obviously Diego's already tame, he's not a baby, and you need to see this clearer. So, well, as I was saying, you want to make a sound that they associate with you, they associate with good things. So my sound is, okay, I can do that to any of my geckos. I think there's a video actually of Minnie where she has this, like, her tail's going like this because I've accidentally spooked her, and I do that sound and her tail goes down, like she literally relaxes. So from the very first day, if you can make your own little sound that they get used to, that's perfect. You can do that sound when you're offering food. It just is a positive reinforcement. They get that associated with you and it's all good. Now, Diego is extremely tame, as you can see, but one thing I really want you guys to remember is my geckos, I mean, Gizmo's 13, Minnie's 12, Diego is 8, and Ziggy is 7. So I've had a lot of years to work with them. I will say they were fairly easy to tame anyway, but this is why they are so docile. I've had them years. So if this doesn't work for you straight away, please don't let that put you off. Don't take it personal if they get a little bit scared. It's just normal. They have a droppable tail because clearly they are a prey to some animals in the wild, so they can be naturally a little bit wary. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me if it's okay to move the hide to get the gecko out, because a lot of people have been trying it where they put their hand in. And look at even Diego, an extremely docile gecko, is not interested in my little chubby white hand. Hello. not interested at all. So I don't think personally this works very well, and I could be waiting here all day. He doesn't care. So yes, you can definitely take out a hide. If the animal's extremely stressed and it's trying to seek a place to hide, then yes, that's not a good thing. But if you want to get to your gecko and you need to take out that hide, we're going to pop out the hide. Another thing I get asked is how frequently you should handle your gecko, and I think one big mistake would be handling it once a week when you're trying to tame it. It's really a little bit every day helps. So even if it's just 5 minutes in the evening each day, that will do so much better than once a week. So this is a big technique. This is the thing I want to show you guys, and it is what I like to call the scoop technique. So it's easier on a bigger gecko, I will say. Like, babies are a little bit difficult to do this on. You can see by his breathing, he's a little confused why his hide's gone. So the scoop technique is simply scoop your hand under their body, and look, you see he's moving forward? You always have to have a hand in front because they will move forward. So you scoop up, naturally they're going to go forward a little bit, so you put your hand in front. And that honestly is the best way to do it. Putting your hand in the tank, it may build trust, and that's cool. Like, you can do that as well as this. But the scoop technique, to me, always works far, far better. So now he is going in his other hide, so I feel a little bit bad because I don't want him to be actually stressed out. I've already taken away his warm hide. But if you do that, you do this little scoop technique and you handle your gecko in the tank for a bit, then that's fine. Now, because I don't want to overdo it with Diego, I'm going to move on to another gecko to show you some more examples. Next, we're going to work with Gizmo. So I'm going to go in, scoop her up. There you go. And you can even see, like, even as a docile animal, they're going to be a little bit, you know, they're going to still try to walk off a bit. So from handling your gecko in the tank, it's good to get a little seat. I'm actually on a drum, but a seat next to your gecko's tank, so you can handle them. If they come off your hand, they'll probably go on your lap. But also, if it gets too much, you get a little bit worried, they go a bit quick, you're right next to the tank, so you can put them back in if they need it. And you can do this for a while. And when they fancy going back, if they fancy going back, you can put it near the cage, or you can put it on a hide. And as you can see, Gizmo's looking, and I think a lot of the time they recognise their own scent of their house, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm home. And sometimes when you put them in and they're walking off, if you shut the door, they might run like that. And you may notice they'll go really quick, and you might be worried, but if they've ran off and they've found a hide, they're going to calm themselves down. So it's best to just leave them to it. The next gecko we're joined with is Ziggy, because she's just here. Although with Ziggy, I can't actually move her hides because they're like rock and they're really built in there. I could if I wanted to, but I'd like destroy the landscape. So I have to rely on her really wanting to come out to actually come out, and sometimes she responds to her name or if I go. But today she is feeling her own independent self and she's going to sit in her rock. If she comes out, she does. But anyway, so the next step, so from handling your gecko in their tank to handling them on your lap next to the tank, would be once you build up that confidence, once you feel you have a little more control and you know what speed they're going to go, it would be to carry them and either handle them on the floor or on your bed or a sofa. So this way, once again, you're in that sitting position where if you're handling them and they come off your hands because they can be quick, they'll go on your leg, or after that they go on the floor. Obviously you'll be sat on the floor, or the bed or the sofa. So this is just allowing you to handle them a bit more, allowing them to have more space, but minimizing that risk that they're going to hurt themselves or drop from quite high up, because they may be a hardy species of reptile, but leopard geckos don't bounce. Now, what I have found is if you put them straight on your floor in an open space, they actually get quite spooked. They may run, they may do that slow tail wag. I've also noticed that if you're completely quiet and there's a sudden sound, it can make them go into this mode where they like can jump and they wag their tail. I had this a lot when I first got Gizmo, and I think it was because she was brand new to me, and I do think once you've tamed a leopard gecko, you have that entire experience. If you do get another one, the taming process goes so much quicker because you have that amount of confidence with handling the gecko. Are you just gonna sit there all day, Zig? Yeah. So for me it's super easy, and I sometimes wish I documented it when I was 13 years old, because the first gecko is probably the most difficult. I do want to make sure you aren't disheartened if the gecko does get spooked or does keep walking off, because these things take time. Just try a little bit every day and you might end up with a Ziggy who just ignores that you actually exist. Look, is my finger a worm? Yes. Is it a worm? Is it a worm? Come here. Come here. I think leopard geckos are cats. Come on. Come on. Look at that little face. I mean, you will eat my finger, but I have just got Ziggy out. Mwahaha. Oh no, she retreats like a tortoise. So I think that's really it. If we quickly just run through the steps again. So number 1, make sure it's in the evening. Number 2, make sure there's no like cats or dogs, something around that could potentially attack your gecko if it got out. Number 3, make sure you have some sort of sound that they can associate you with. As I said, it's not going to work straight away. It's something you build on over time, but trust me, it will work, even though Ziggy's ignoring my existence right now. Number 4, gradually approach the tank. As I said, make that sound. Don't do it completely silently, because I think that freaks them out even more. Number 5, you can remove a hide if they're in a hide and that's where you want to pick them up. Number 6, try the scoop technique. That little scoop, hand in front of the other, and you're going to go like this. That is far better than just putting your hand in. And they might be curious, but I just find that people will try this for ages and it doesn't always work. They won't necessarily just crawl onto your hand. So try the scoop technique. Then of course, as I said, we'll go through the various stages. Handling in a tank, handling next to the tank, then either handling them on your lap on the floor or on the sofa or on your bed. There's some good places to start, and over time you will build your confidence. Your gecko will get a lot more used to you, they won't be as skittish, and honestly leopard geckos aren't overly difficult to tame. There are a lot of reptiles that are a lot harder. I've seen iguanas and monitor lizards, they take a lot more. So if you do have a leopard gecko, you're lucky, because these guys are actually, oh, she's gone. These guys don't mind being handled. Where is Ziggy gone? But yeah, I wanted to do a more casual video where you can literally see me doing these things, seeing how the geckos react. As you see, even Ziggy, she has had enough of me and she's gone away. So this is very casual, this is very all over the place. I don't know if you like videos more like this, but I hope it has helped. I will link other videos, like ones I've done in the past about handling, as well as the one about how to make your gecko love you, which is basically just how to really get that bond with your gecko and tips and tricks of what you can do. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.